Oh my gosh. Good evening. This is the frequency in use. No, I didn't think so. This is K4PEW net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex rating. I'm laughing because I did something funny and that I forgot I did. And all you can see is my head on the screen here next to the. Looks like the thing is bigger than my head. Anyway, um, if there's no emergency traffic, but if you do have emergency traffic, call the police, fire department, ambulance, National Guard, federal troops, whatever you got to do. Uh, we'll help you if you need us to. But just tell us where you are, what you need, how many federal troops you actually need. Um, that may be broken at any time for that kind of stuff. For information on that, you go to YouTube right now, and you can see. I did this right. I actually started it at the same time I started the net. I'm impressed with myself. Uh, start. Where was I? Oh yes. Um, yeah, you can go to YouTube, put in my call K4PEW or the word brain trust, or it's actually brain trusts, I believe, on the YouTube, and you'll come up with the image of me and my wife the day we got married about 14 years ago. And you can click on that, and you'll see the premiere or whatever they're calling it these days of the live view of this net. It'll even have the correct date on it, hopefully. You can also go to 146415.net for information on Simplex. Pretty good, just basic stuff there. You can also go to groups.io, MJSS. That's what you put in their search block. MJSS stands for Michael Jackson Super Sport. No, it stands for Mount Juliet Simplex Society. And you can see our website, our net schedule. You can also sign up for our email system. There's about 200 of us here, so it's a great place to ask technical questions or sell equipment. Or if you're looking for equipment and you can ask them. Or you can send me an email and I'll have no idea what you're asking me, but it's K4PEW at ARRL.net. That normally meets at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. And of course, we're on 146.415. Tonight's 146 dot or decimal or period 415. And that's on Simplex on FM. Our purpose in that is to have fun. Figure out who we can hear, who we can't hear, figure out why we can't hear. We can. Normally, it's because we got a cheap antenna that's sitting down on the ground. That's usually the answer, or partially sitting near the ground. The closer it is to the ground, the worse your reception is going to be. It's kind of a basic of amateur radio as well as commercial radio. Uh, that's why Navy ships, they're always on near the ground and they're out in the middle of nowhere and they have to have 50,000 watts to get their signals out. I'm not kidding you. They do use, say, 50,000 watts. Or they used to. I don't know what they use now. They probably use satellite or I don't know what they use. They won't tell me. I don't have a clearance anymore. Not that I did. I never had one for radio anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, announcing what other announcements besides the Sunday night Met. You do not want to miss the Sunday night Met, the only tri-mode 10-meter net, 10 meters on 28.415, and then Michael KM4YRF gently glides that over to stupid switch. I dropped out because my radio didn't want to talk about the net. It dropped about the 10-meter net. 10-meter net Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. starts at 28.415. That's all you really need to know. And then Michael will guide you to the next mode, which is FM on 10 meters at another frequency. And then he goes over to another mode on C4 FM on 10 meters. So I don't know anybody else who does that, but you do want to participate. Well, you can at least get in on a couple of the modes. Not everybody has 10 meters. That's exclusive to Yaesu radios, but still, he's getting. I think he's had upwards of 14 check-ins. I think on Yaesu Fusion. And if you even if you have a handheld, get on the air. We can probably hear you. I can't at the moment because my radio busted. Any other announcements besides the Ham Fest on July 19th? You want to be there. There's demerits if you don't show up. It's only $5. If you need the $5, just ask Michael. He has it. And in fact, I lost $5 today. He probably has it. Anyway, it's only $5 to get in, and it's well worth it just to meet up with all your friends. Or you can stand outside and just talk to them as they walk in with their $5. Is there any other announcements? Okay, well, very good. We're starting from tonight. We're doing the here on 146.415. Then we're moving over to 144.240 upper sideband on 2 meters, and then over to 50.135. That's on 6 meters, and then we're going to 223.415, which is on 220 band. The only I think we're the only one in the country doing a Simplexton on 220. Maybe I don't really know that for sure. Somebody else has got to be doing it. Okay, I should ask a query somewhere in QRZ. Maybe I never go to their discussion sites. Maybe that's where I need to ask that. It'd be interesting to know who else is doing 220s. Anybody else? If you do know, let me know. In fact, everybody, all the people on the net tonight, ask QRZ who's doing a 220 net. Or I can go to AI. Maybe AI knows the answer to that. They know everything else. Okay, any other announcements? Good. We're going to go ahead and start. Tonight we're starting from the west. And but first we take in, check in. By the way, we're on net number 1,117. I think I got that right. I got to keep my head straight. I changed the focus in this, on the in how it's broke there, and I have to sit in a different way. Otherwise, it showed everything. Now it's just showing my head. Okay, and anyway, that's 1,117. We'll start with people short on time, mobile, and first-time check-ins. And no, I have not been drinking. Let's go with that. Yeah, very good. We were talking about your breakfast this morning. Yeah, very good. That's what we were talking about. You were one of the active members doing the testing, which is cool. Anyway, that's Kilo 3 Mike Papa Romeo. He's here in Juliet, just a little bit east of me. And it's Kilo 3 Mike Papa Romeo. And that's Mike. Anybody else? West, please. I mean, short on time, mobile or first time checking. All righty. By the way, we had a really short nets on DMR and D-Star. I think it was because of the bad weather, but I don't know. Who knows? Who else is mobile short on time? Anybody else mobile short on time or first time check-ins? All right, then we're starting from the west. Please come now. Oh man, you didn't check out on short time. What happened? Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, well, since you're starting out at the beginning, you didn't have to do the short time thing, did you? Well, very good. Everything going good your way, Jeff? Well, we had a real frog drowner just before I got on the air. It was really coming down pretty good. You didn't get any of that? I was going to say you would have known because I mean he was really coming down hard. Michael, you got that, didn't you? Yeah, it really was. It really was a heavy downpour, but I don't think it's going right now. I can't look out the window and do this at the same time. All right. Well, very good, Jeff. Good to have you in there, Jeff. You can go doze off now if you want to. That's Whiskey Yankee for golf. Big signal out of Madison. Who else is West? It was interesting that I could hear you, and Larry could hear me, but Larry couldn't hear you tonight. I thought that was weird. Oh yeah, no big deal. It's my job, man. Everything going okay? Well, I hope you have your crops well drained. Yeah, and water chestnuts. Yeah, very good. That is Jack, formerly known as John. Um, we were joking about that at breakfast this morning. Um, and he's in Donaldson, Davidson County, Kilo Golf for India Lima Victor. Who else is West? Hey, you sound a little light tonight. Are you doing anything different? No, I would never suggest such a thing. Okay, is it lower wattage or just a different antenna? Okay, no, just it sounds different. I mean, I got a good copy. I need them. Yeah. Well, I noticed the DMR radios don't have the same. They don't seem to have the same audio quality on their FM portion. You know, the analog that they do on other radios. I believe you're right. That was just my observation. I don't know. I guess it's on purpose because they can't do both. Yeah, I got you. Anything else good tonight? Very good. That's Greg, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie, Victor Echo. He's in Antioch. Soon. He says he's moving up to, I think he actually got evicted, and they're forcing him to go up in Hendersonville to bother some people up there. Who else is west? Hey, Charles, you feeling good? Oh yeah, you must have passed over you and then hit me. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it was raining hard. I mean, it really did rain hard over there as well. Well, you can spare me the wind because that's what hurts. Very good. That's Charles in West Nashville with a good signal. Kilo Charlie 4 Tango. November, Quebec. Who else is west? Nobody else west before we move to south? Okay, west or south? Well, you've got a good signal again to me. You had a good one on D Star, and you got a good one here on FM. Very good, Larry. Yeah, I think it was that front as it was, or that system that was moving through that was bothering people, I guess. Anyway, that's Larry in Rockville, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. Who else is south? Did you skip the storm on you? No, I mean, did you get any of that? Yeah, no, we had a little bit too, but just a little while ago, it was really coming down. Pretty good. I saw it started to pond out in some of the low areas of the yard. Yeah, very good. You sound good tonight, Jim. Yeah, well, we had that trouble. I mean, we had where I mean, Jack and I are, yeah, we're about 10, I forget what, 10 or 12 miles apart, east to west kind of. But Larry couldn't hear Jack at all tonight, where he normally hears him just fine, and he heard me perfectly. Yeah, what we need is an administration here in Tennessee that can always give us good conditions. Very good. That's Jim. Kilo Echo 4 Tanky. Yeah. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet, and he's in Woodbury. Who else is south? I can't believe Tony's missing the check-in time. Checked in on the other nets. That's weird. Who else is east then? I don't know. You think it was that good? I thought it was cute, but I mean, it took a little bit of work because I had to, all of those, all of those little blocks were already filled in with stuff, descriptions of the bomb damage, and I had to erase all of it in software and then put in my own description. No, CNN or somebody. I don't know where it came from. So it was just on the web as bomb damage from those from those people in the eastern end of the Mediterranean bombing and other people farther east of the Mediterranean. Was Eric skipping it tonight? me. I think you topped 14 before, didn't you? It is hard to get everybody in on the same day when you got such a small group. Yeah, I'm sure. I got to get my radio shipped out of here on Monday, and we'll get back online here shortly. It's upsetting to me, but what are you going to do? Yeah. It's hard to believe it. This my 897D, which I have here, is it's like it's an old workhorse, man. It never quits. I was talking about the radio, not us. We're faulty. They're not. Yeah, very good. That was Michael, KM4YRF. He's here in Mount Juliet, and he fills in for me when I'm not here or don't want to do the net. You might have to fill in for me Wednesday. My wife tells me she's got like 4 days off next week, so I'm going to be busy doing something. Yeah, but you're going to have to put, pick up my, you're going to have to pick up your game a little bit. Come up with your own stinking thumbnails. No, I did like that one. It took a little bit of work making it all. I don't want to say pretty, but it's funny just as a point of interest. Not that it matters. You have to change each of those boxes with a little different size than others, and I had to keep changing the font on each of the boxes in order to make all the words I wanted to stick in there fit. My favorite. What's your favorite box I got in there? Did you notice? Yeah, I couldn't forget in. I wanted to say trailer. That didn't work out. So I didn't have enough room. But my favorite is the repeater trustees car damage, and it's because it had a broken mag mount. Because that's all you need if you got a repeater. What else you need? Oh, I think that's if they don't realize it's all in fun. What are you going to say? I mean, individual hams. If you collected all the problems that individual hams have doing any mode, repeaters will look pretty good. No, no, I'd like to take up some more time. No, that was Michael KM4YRF. Who else is East? KM4HQE Stan. Did you get your rain must have just hit after it hit us. Yeah, well, it's a good. That's what my dad used to say. It's a good day for the ducks. Oh well, I tell you what, you can figure this. The state actually benefits every time it rains, and so does the federal government, because we all got to buy more gas for our mowers, and we're paying that dang fuel tax. Yeah, very good. Anything good for the net? Yeah, very good. That was Stan, or is Stan. He is in Lebanon, and that's Kilo Mike for Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is East? Hey, good evening. How are you? Yeah, that's like that cloud that hangs over some people's heads. Well, you got to take the good with the bad because I'm sure there's good days, and then there's others that aren't so good. Yeah, very good. I apologize. I forgot your first name again. I haven't heard from you in a while, and my brain goes empty. Very good. I'm sorry, Tom. Forgot about that. Not unusual. I'll be 76 in a couple of weeks. So every year I seem to lose a little more brain cells, or at least my memory card is failing. Anyway, that's Kilo November 4 Echo Whiskey Tango. He's working tonight. He's runs a pizza operation, distributing pizzas to the world. Well, at least to the world known as probably all of eastern Wilson County and western. What's just west of us? I mean, what's just east of Wilson County? I forget. Is it Smith County? Yeah, probably their electronic signage or something. Well, anyway, that's Tom, KN4EWT, and he's out in near Lebanon somewhere, complaining about the traffic lights all turn red when he gets to them. So that means everybody who's on the other going across his way loves Tom showing up because all their lights are green. Who else is east? November for Romeo, Tango, Romeo. How goes it? Roll Tide Roll. Wes, I'm hoping somebody heard that because your signal earlier when you checked in before the net, you were about an S3, and it was nice. It wasn't a perfect signal, but it was a nice signal, no problem, easy copy. And now when you transmitted, I just heard the first few words, and the rest of it was kind of mumbled up with a lot of noise. And I'm sure it's that weather system that's moving through here. But your audio, your audio output, it stunk. I didn't get hardly any. I'd heard you upset about something, but I don't know what. Oh yeah, yeah. He's really earlier tonight. He was real good copy to me. Hang on one second. Somebody, my wife, my XYL just told me that I'm not getting any audio out of the other speaker. Nobody said anything. Hold on. Michael, come back to me again. Just give me a count or something. I'm trying to figure out why this other speaker's not working. I'm not sure we're going to get a fix on that, but let's give it a try anyway. Michael, give me a count one more time because I hit the The connectors on the back of this radio don't seem to suit it. Doesn't like the connectors I used on 991, so it's not always getting the output to the big radio, the big speaker here. Give it to me one more time, please.
Eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one. KM4 YRF.
Yeah, perfect. I just can't use my headphones because the connector arrangement I have. It's the first time it failed on me in I don't know how many years, but it's not working well. It just doesn't have a tight fit in the back of this radio. I'm not sure why. Anyway, appreciate your help on that. Sorry for there isn't going to be much audio on the previous 26 minutes. So people are going to have to just, uh, we're going to have a lip reading course next week. Next week will be a lip reading course for everybody, so everybody will be happy. All righty. Who else was over east? Where was I? East, please come now. All right, got nothing. We're going to the north. I hear people scrambling from the north.
84 doing.
All right, very good. You scramble. You were the quickest one. What's going on, Danny? Yo, Danny.
Oh, I never heard you answer. Okay. How you doing tonight, Paul?
Oh, a little, I don't know what the word is. A little discombobulated. My audio wasn't working properly. Didn't know it until on YouTube until my XYL put it in the chat. And I just happened to read the chat, and I rarely look at that chat, rarely, just because I can't do one thing at a time, let alone two or three.
Michael, I can't hear Paul now. Paul, you dropped.
Are you hearing me now? K4PW.
I did then.
Yeah, again, discombobulated, man. The foot bone's not connected to the properly to the foot switch, and that's where I am because I haven't fixed my hand switch yet. And that I always found that to be the easiest way to do it. But trying to tell my foot what to do doesn't always work. Or the foot switch is I should nail it to the floor because it keeps moving on me, or I keep moving it. I should say. I don't think it's actually moving. Anyway, you got anything for the net, Danny?
No, I was just sitting here waiting, listening to everybody else.
Well, I'm glad you can hear it. All right, that was Danny. He is in the station camp up near the big metropolis of Cottontown, and I imagine it's going to be a big metropolis in the next few years. Quite honestly, that all of Nashville is spreading its ilk. Ilk. I don't mean people. I mean I could mean people, but I don't. I mean buildings and developments, and pretty soon there's going to be high rises up in Cottontown. I don't know if it's going to be real quick, but there will be. All righty. Who else is north?
WB0NOO.
And my pen just ran out. Hey, what a great thing. WB0NOO. Mark, what's up?
Oh, not much. Been sitting here watching the Trump birthday party and tribute to the Army. That's been kind of cool.
How many have to watch it later? I did not get a chance to do any of that today. Been a tough day. Not tough. It's just been a difficult day for me. But I got a kick out of the times. Each time I saw it in the news, they said they didn't say first that it was. They said they're having the military display on Trump's birthday. And I'm like, okay, but it is the 250th anniversary of the Army. You did know that, right? I'm thinking, how crazy do they have to keep repeating it? You know?
Yeah. I mean, it really depends on what network you're watching as to what the opinion of it is. You know, I got just enough CNN to make me mad again, and then went back over to Fox.
Well, I avoid the whole issue and don't watch CNN or Fox.
Yeah, it was quite the bash. and very professionally produced. I mean, it was a spectacle. But that's all right. You know, the Army deserves it, unlike the Navy.
Well, do you know how difficult it is to get ships to go down Pennsylvania Avenue?
I could run them down to Potomac.
I don't know if the Potomac has the draft for some of the big ships or not.
Yeah, well, probably not. But well, you know, we could work out something. But it was quite a spectacle.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at that because it's a good. Actually, I think it was an excellent time to do it, in spite of the fact that it was the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army, it's impressive. It's really impressive when you realize whatever they showed today is probably 1/1000th of what we got, and that's what the good reminder to the rest of the earth is. There's nobody who has more powerful military than us, and we just did a display today to remind them that we don't mess around. Well, hopefully we don't mess around.
Comment.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
I like the little robot dog that was marching with the troops. I thought that was just fantastic. Never missed a beat.
Oh wow, that's great. Well, I'm telling you, I maybe I'm just easily impressed. I always liked those kind of things when I was a kid. I liked it when I was in the military. Do they have any marching bands to go with it?
Um, I haven't seen. I've just seen bits and pieces of it, so I'm not really sure.
Lots of bands.
Yeah, I always like that too. There's just something about a good band. I don't mean just goofy stuff, but good military display of bands. And did they have any besides the drum and bugle corps, that kind of thing? Did they have like the rifle teams?
You mean the drill team?
Yeah, the ones who throw the rifles at each other.
You know, I did not see that. They had lots of special forces and lots of equipment, um, several bands, choirs, and Lee Greenwood. That's about it.
Man, Lee Greenwood retires. Trump's out of business.
Yeah, we had lunch with some friends on Friday that live down in Franklin, and their daughter was in a Publix grocery store, and Lee Greenwood was in the store, and he goes to check out at the counter in front of her and forgot his wallet. So the topic of discussion at lunch on Friday was that their daughter loaned Lee Greenwood $20 for groceries.
That's pretty funny, really. He's probably got more money than 12 of or 13 of us together.
Oh, I'm sure he does. But anyway, it was a good show. Kind of nice to show off what you got every now and then. And they said the recruiting is like 4 months ahead of schedule so far this year, and they expect it to be a big boost to recruiting all of this parade stuff tonight.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. I think we've lost some of that was lost um, after the Cold War when we stopped the draft. Now, the draft doesn't necessarily recruit, civic-minded people because they're forcing you to go in. But at the same time, those who have gone in tend to be more civic-minded and, you know, in that mentality that the military is good, not bad. And that is after you're out anyway.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. All right, well, carry on. I'll listen. WB0NOA.
All right, make your XYL take notes for you, okay, in case you doze off. That was Mark. I'm not going to wait for an answer. Whiskey Bravo Zero, November, Oscar, Oscar. Who else is north?
KB9 RKK.
Hello, Frank. Anything good?
Uh, watched the same thing. Watched the parade. It was pretty cool. Uh, yeah, it's the army. Uh, well,
I always get a kick out of that because the Army is fantastic. There's no question about it. But you know where the Marine Corps, who goes in first on battles, right?
yeah. Well, yeah. You know what? They did the most. You know what's ironic is they did the largest amphibious assault ever. So that's what's weird.
You're saying the Army did?
Yeah, when they did when they won on Normandy. So that was an amphibious landing, and it was the army.
Right. Well, it's actually, I guess I should be critical of that too, man. They did it, but they asked the British and the Canadians to help.
Well, yeah, you gotta have friends. No, it was cool. It was cool. My wife was just like, "Wow, they're not gonna. Are you guys gonna get one in November? It's gonna be 250 years." I'm like, "We're really, the Marines are small, and the Navy, you can't put the ships on parade, and probably not, but it's okay. I still thought it was pretty cool, especially because they had some of the old stuff. Some of the historical stuff, the planes that flew, and the old tanks, and some of the old, or just vehicles. It was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's harder to see if you ever, and yeah, I'm sure you've seen them, but if anybody who hasn't seen one of those naval celebrations where they do it in New York Harbor. I don't know where else they do it. I think they do it in San Diego and some other big harbors, but it's impressive to see. And I've never seen one up close, other than some of the stuff we did in the Navy. But it wasn't, when you see two nuclear powered aircraft carriers and maybe four heavy guided missile cruisers and then about 20 destroyers and other landing craft in a formation coming, and you go, who could refuse them?
Yeah, yeah. I heard some of the new ones are like humongous. I don't think it was the biggest one, but the biggest ship I didn't sail on it, but I was on board, was the Enterprise.
Oh yeah, yeah. The only time I set foot on an aircraft carrier was when I went up to the Intrepid Museum up in New York City.
Yeah, yeah, I seen the museum as well. But yeah, it was still in service, and it was docked at North Island Naval Air Station. So, they used to come there every once in a while. So I went on board. I was able to get on board. I got a tour of it. It was pretty cool, and it seems like a place instead of a thing.
Oh yeah, just a monster. No, it is interesting though because I never set foot on anything other than I got to think about this. Um, I was on some bigger. No, I don't think I've ever been on a cruiser. Not in the Navy. No, I because we were home ported in Newport. In Newport, it's nothing now. There's still a base there, but it doesn't have any ships assigned there. We had as many as one Christmas. We had like 70 something ships in the harbor. All of them were destroyers and some support ships, and I think a submarine tied up at the pier. But 70 something destroyers, because Newport was of all places. That was the commander of the cruiser destroyer forces in the Atlantic was in Newport, Rhode Island, and so we had a lot of stuff going on. But again, did nothing but destroyers, so everything else is foreign to me. You could ask me about, landing ships and the amphib. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, well, the destroyers got all the guns. So no, no, I was only on that. The only thing I actually was officially like, hey, this is where I'm at now for a few days. They've given me a ride. Was I don't actually remember the name of the ship. It was really little. It's called an LPH, landing platform helicopter, and we loaded all our trucks on there, and we went to the Philippines, and that's the one I went on that, and one to Korea, but I can't remember the names of those. But to be honest with you. But I wish I was. I wonder and wish if there's a way to look it up because it was kind of cool. I just remember that it was a Vietnam era. It was in Vietnam. I just remember that because I remember seeing like things, plaques and whatnot.
So it was in the West Coast.
This was from Okinawa to Philippines.
And what year?
That 90.
Okay, because I know one of those that's over there, one of those LPHs was oh man, I even forgot the name of it now. Because they had one that was old, and we were with it in Hong Kong and also in the Tonkin Gulf, but it got replaced by a newer one, which I don't know if I'm pretty sure it was before '90, because the other one was from like the end of World War II or 1950 or something.
Yeah, well, I can't remember, but it was interesting and it was cool. And I got to, go to the big wheel and they let me run it, steer it, and I just had to keep the two light between the two lights. It was pretty cool. I was bored, so I got to do that while we were waiting to get to. It takes a few days, they don't go that fast. But anyway, thanks for doing that. I'm glad the weather cooperated and I was able to get on here. So I'll turn it back over to you. KB9RKK.
Yeah, people don't realize that. I don't know. Cruise ships, I think, you know how fast cruise ships go? Because I don't. I've never been on one. But they do better than 15, 16, 18 knots, something like that.
Yeah, I think they go a little bit faster.
Yeah, because when we were going on just regular deployments, um, we'd leave a place like Puerto Rico, or even if we left Newport, go down to Puerto Rico and refuel there, and then we'd hang a left turn to go to Africa, and it would be, it's like 6 days to get to Africa, because you're going 12 knots. It's very efficient steaming that way. You don't waste a lot of fuel because you're in no huge hurry.
Yeah. Well, I just looked it up. 21 to 23 knots is average for a cruise ship. And I remember them saying about 20 something knots when I was on the cruise. So, yep, 24 miles per hour basically.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, again, that doesn't seem very fast either, because that's still, uh, what is that? 24 knots is maybe what, 17 or 18 miles an hour.
Well, no, the knots are bigger. So 21 to 23 knots is 24 to 26 miles per hour. But yeah, it's remember, because Bahamas is only like 70 miles off the coast, but it still takes quite a while to get there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had that backwards on the knots to miles per hour. You think I'd know that? Anyway, I've just proven how dumb I'm getting. But anything else for the net, Frank?
Negative. Negative. I'll turn it back over to you. KB9RKK.
Yeah, I used to actually even go out to I had to go out to the bridge on almost every watch. Doesn't matter why, but I had to go out and chart on our where we were. And instead of asking the quartermasters to do it, we do it ourselves, and we'd have to measure it out, and with those little, it was there was no GPS. Okay, so we had to do with the whatever they call those things, the things with two needles on it. You just measure the distance and you put it on the scale. I forget what they call them. I'll call them calipers, but they're not calipers. Anyway, I've just exhausted my stupidity here. No, I haven't exhausted it. Anyway, who else? Who else is? Where was I anyway? North. No, was I north? No, I was east. East or north?
West was in there. TWI.
Ah, very good, Wes. Man, you must. I bet you didn't get a lot of rain, did you?
Yeah, it's been raining off and on here all day, but I've been on 6 meters. There's too many stations to work. That's a good complaint to have.
And that was on which band?
6 meters right now. I mean, the past 2 or 3 hours, like it was wall to wall, CW sideband, digital. Even now, I mean, you can't work them all.
Oh, you could try. We're going to be doing 6 meters here in about 10 minutes.
All right, you might have some QRM. Be warned.
Well, they should know better, man. We're king of the midway here with one on 50.135. So they need to just what we used to say in the Navy, gangway, man. Regular Navy coming through.
Yeah. Well, good luck in finding this space. All right. Well, that's a good thing to have in propagation. KE4TWI.
Now that's great. That doesn't happen all that often, does it? That was Wes, KE4TWI. He's in Possum Town, soon to be Possum Village. I don't know. I'm not sure. It'll grow. Who else is east or north?
KN4ERI.
That's right. I started with the west. I didn't I? Very good, Eric. Good to see you this morning.
Yep, likewise. Great to see everyone at breakfast. Good breakfast as usual.
Oh yeah, it's always fun. Get anything accomplished today? Because I didn't. No, I didn't get anything accomplished. I had some difficulties when I as I was leaving. I had a good time, but it was just other stuff going on all day, and I was tired because last night I only got about maybe 4 hours sleep.
Yeah, roger that. I did not get a whole lot done. I got my other computer set up I needed to get done, got a little bit of work done, and took a couple of naps, little short ones, and that was about it. Did you have any luck with the GMRS antenna? Probably not.
No, but I think I got it mapped out now. I really do. I'm like giving you, this is the 30-step program, and I'm on the third.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, I can probably give you a hand later in the week or something. Let me know you need a hand. I can stop by. I got ladders and all that good stuff for the truck.
Oh, I'll bet you do. Yeah. No, I don't think I'll need it. I really don't. I think I got a plan in motion here to get one up, and even if it's just temporarily until I do something better.
All right, sounds good.
All righty, that's Eric in Goodlettsville, big signal because he's got such a great elevation and a good antenna system, and that's Kilo November 4 Echo Romeo India. Who else is north?
84 VW.
Hello, Mr. Carlin. Anything good going on up there?
Nothing so far. Everybody else, I guess, is getting rain. I don't think I've noticed any. Of course, it could be raining out there right now. All I know, it's dark now.
Yeah, you would have noticed what we got here. It was coming down like pretty good. No light. I didn't have any lightning, but it had a lot of rain.
Yeah, I looked at the radar a while ago. And there's a low pressure area that's kind of circling around just to the west of Bowling Green up there, about Madisonville or something like that, somewhere along in there. And I was watching that stuff, just like spots of rain just coming down out of the northwest and kind of spinning around that. And there was a great big old wad line that went through down there at Franklin. And I was talking to a guy on the phone a minute ago, and he was heading over to a hospital. He said, I just left the house and go, and it said it's just a torrential pour down. I went and looked at the radar. I thought, yeah, I can see why. So, but yeah, that's all. I don't know if it's going to calm down since the sun's got down, but it's kind of spinning these big spots and showers around it and stuff. And I don't know if that's supposed to do that tomorrow or not. I didn't pay no attention to the forecast on that site, so I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, this is what I got. I'm just going from memory, which isn't that good, but this is one of the rainiest springs I remember here in the last. I've been here. This is about my 13th year.
Well, you have to put up with the rain, and then you have to put up with the sunshine. I was talking to a neighbor here a while back. He was saying, we've been getting all this rain. We're liable to end up with a real dry summer and autumn. So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I don't know. We often do that, and then we're wrong. My favorite prediction of all time, I think, had to be back in Florida. The National Hurricane Center made a prediction that they were going to be, I forget what it was, 13 named hurricanes that year. It was in the early 2000s. I can't tell you which year it was. 13. There was none. They're not very good at predicting things.
Oh yeah. The weather people, all you have to do is just listen to them. They always cover themselves. They'll say, tomorrow, sunny, partly cloudy. Otherwise, might have some change, chance rain. They always put that otherwise in there. I've noticed that on every weather forecast. They always say otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, I know. They again, they're not. They can't nail it any better than they're only doing what they read in the weather reports and how they figure it out. But I mean, there's sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. They can't. They're one of the few engineers can't get away with that, and technicians can't get away with that.
Yeah, what gets me is when they'll be standing up there chatting before the weather and they on the newscast and the other people there sitting at the desk, kind of, they don't say it outright. They kind of imply, like, what kind of weather are you going to give us tomorrow? Like, they're in control of the weather? I'm going like, y'all supposed to be educated people.
Yeah, well, they're news people. They don't know much.
Yep, that's right. Oh, well, I guess I'll let you get some more check in. So, with that said, hope you having a good night tonight and everybody else is on the net. And I'll hush up and turn it back over to you, K4BW, and turn it back over to next stroke.
Very good. That was Carlin. He's in Angeltown, Bethpage area. Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. But good signal tonight. You didn't have much of an signal report, but a good audio. I mean, good audio for the distance and the conditions anyway. Who else is north or anywhere?
Kilo India 4, November, Delta, November.
Hello, Mr. David. What's up?
Hello, Mr. Ball. Good afternoon, good evening to you. Not a whole lot. Spent the day, did get to spend some time with my friend, his celebration of life, Mr. Frank, and just got back from it. He was just singing. It was a great day. Got to meet up with some old friends, hams, and just a good day. But how are you, sir?
Well, I heard about that and I was unable to go. The timing was all wrong for me with some things I had going on here, so I'm sorry I couldn't make it.
Oh, hey, Frank, you understand that's what they call life. That's life. What is life? It's magazine. Well, how much does it cost? It costs a quarter, but I only have a dime. That's life.
Yeah, no, it's so how many people showed up?
Oh, I'd be lying, but there was a good handful, but 20, 25 maybe.
Well, that's about 5 hands.
Yeah, well, I was in one hand for each person, not two. So.
No, that's cool. I'm glad there was. So the parking was really all up and down the street, I take it.
Yes, sir. It was really a good event and a great celebration for Frank. He's a great ham, and most people didn't know him or anything, have no idea all of the communication stuff he was involved with throughout his life. He's been a ham for I think it was pretty close to 70 years.
Yeah, no, he didn't get on the air all that much. I talked to him a couple times, and I also went over to his house because I bought something from him, and I got to sit down with him and his wife, and it was nice. It was nice. A really interesting guy to talk to.
Yes, sir. Very, very good people. And he goes way beyond behind the scenes kind of fellow, but always into emergency communications and was very active man and will be sorely missed.
Yeah, well, we're all headed in that direction, you know.
Yes, sir. For some of us quicker than others, that's for sure. Well, listen, kudos to you and all yours. Appreciate what you do, and you're doing a good deed, and well done, sir. Thank you very much. 7th grade, KI4, Indiana.
Well, you probably remember the Boy Scout is to do a good deed every day. I'm not sure I do it every day, but I'm pretty close.
Oh, K4AL was in there too.
Oh, really? Kilo for Alpha Lima. Alan, what's up?
All right.
Well, you're definitely not hitting your remote station.
Came in from Tokyo, and I'm down in Watertown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, while you're out there mobiling. No, I'm surprised I can even hear you well on your mobile because of the weather conditions, but I can hear you, but not real well.
Yep, just thought I'd get my 2 cents and then back out. K4AL.
Very good. Hey, I hope to see you at the Hamfest in July. You going?
I'm working, but I might not be.
July 19th. Yeah, I think you already know about it.
Yeah, I kind of like to go because I think the Tennessee contest group is going to have a meet and greet.
There or somewhere else?
I think it's I think it's a Shoney's maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh, on the same day you said?
Yeah, I think they meet there and then they go to the Hampton.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah, I was going to say they normally are at the Hamfest with a table, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm starting to get this rain. Okay, I'll get it back to you. K4AL.
Very good. That's Alan. Just got back from Tokyo. and we're not talking Tokyo, Nebraska. That's Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. Anybody else out there from the north or anywhere?
K4IDC.
Hello, Robin. I was talking about you earlier today.
Oh, that must have been what drove me to reconnect my radio.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm trying to remember why I was doing it. Oh, I was thinking. I was thinking about. You didn't see the web picture I have up for the net tonight, did you?
I don't know if I did or not. I heard somebody complimenting you on it earlier.
Well, I had to look it up because I was exaggerating something for effect about repeaters and towers. And I said it was a 500-foot Roan 16 Golf tower.
That doesn't even sound legitimate. Is that the point?
No, it was legitimate because I looked it up. I said, "What's the biggest Roan tower makes?" And it's up, it goes up to 600 feet, I think it said. Of course, it has to. Obviously, it's more than just buying 600 feet of tower. But it was a Roan 16G.
Never heard of such, but I only dabble in amateur radio towers.
Yeah, this was a. Well, I don't know who uses those towers, but that particular size. But I was impressed. You can make a Roan 600-foot tower.
Right. Well, then you need some 3-inch coax to go with it.
Oh my gosh, that would cost more than the tower, I think.
At least that's mine.
Man, so you doing all right?
Yeah. Enjoyed a lazy day in a ham shack. It's been great. Went for a hike at Long Hunter State Park this morning for about 3 hours. Been fiddling in the basement the rest of the day. It's been lovely.
Besides around, you say, where'd you do the hiking, and which path was it?
The volunteer trail on the west side of Hobson Pike.
Oh, yes, I have seen that. I've never been on it because I was going to say we have often, June and I have often gone over to the lake. There's a little lake, and that's a 2-mile path all around the lake.
Couchville Lake.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name right off the top of my head. Is there a reason it's called Couchville? You know the answer to that.
I can only guess. There's a community somewhere around here called Couchville, or used to be. But interesting point. I was filling up my car with fuel, I don't know, a year or two ago at Kroger, and I noticed Tennessee Wildlife Resources officer there at the next pump, and I struck up a conversation with him. And sure enough, he worked at Long Hunter State Park, and I asked him about Couchville Lake. I said, "Was that a planned lake, or what, an afterthought, or and is it hydraulically connected to Percy Priest?" And he said, "It was not planned. It is hydraulically connected, and it was a total surprise."
It's funny you mentioned that because I thought it was connected, and when I looked it up on the web, either Perplexity is wrong, one of the. I'll have to look it up again because it said they're not connected, and I was kind of surprised because they're right next to each other, and I don't know if they keep the same lake level, but Couchville Lake is pretty low.
Well, apparently they're connected underground.
Oh no, that's what I mean. I presume they were connected underground, and then okay, I'll have to look that up again because I have found to be the search engines, not the search engines, but the AIs are sometimes wrong. They're wrong-headed about things.
Well, the key word to AI is artificial.
Well, yeah, I mean they do go out and look at the information, but I had them. I was telling somebody earlier. I asked them a question and they answered it. It was a complex, a kind of complex answer, and then but they answered it something I didn't ask them, and so I said, "Do you have a follow-up question?" I go, "Yeah." How come you gave me the answer I didn't ask for? I didn't ask you that crap.
Right. So anyway, apparently Couchville Lake formed when Percy Priest was filled. And now you know the rest of the story.
Well, so that's interesting. So it just got filled by accident, so to speak. I mean, it's filled up with water, and it's when Percy Priest got filled, it actually filled because it's not a very deep lake that Couchville Lake. I'm guessing the whole thing can't be more than I don't really know. I'm going to say it can't be any deeper than 6 or 8 feet.
Probably not. I don't know. It's fun to canoe around. I've been around in a canoe a couple of times.
Yeah, I've seen people out in kayaks and canoes. And we were promising to do that. We need to do that out there this year. And June's probably listening, so June, we need to go rent one of those kayaks.
Do that. I'll go
volunteer trail on the other side of Hobson Pike is a 4 mile loop, and there's a I don't know several 100 foot change in elevation up and down. I said several. I don't know. It can be a strenuous hike, but you have to keep your eye on the trail because there's roots and rocks everywhere. You could trip and hurt yourself quite easily.
You mean like the one we were on over there, Percy Priest?
You and I
Yeah, that time we went over there on the east side.
on the east or the west?
Why do I want to say it was on the east? I'm not sure now where we went, but you know what I'm talking about, right? It was on Percy Priest. Oh, on the west side of the lake. Yes, I'm sorry.
The west side of Hobson Pike.
Honestly, don't remember now. It goes to show you I wasn't paying much attention because you were driving.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't remember either. But we're in the same boat. But anyway, on the west side of Hobson Pike, the park continues, and there is the volunteer trail. Um, it's a 4 mile loop, and it takes you a couple hours to do it just because of the terrain.
Okay, maybe I'll straighten this out. Maybe that's the one we were on. Is that the one that has that? Looks like not a natural, but a built stone wall.
There are remnants of an old rock fence along that path.
Yes, that's the one I was talking about.
Okay, well, that's the volunteer trail.
Okay, so I have been on it. I just don't remember. I do remember it. I couldn't have told you exactly where it was. I'd have to look on a map.
Okay.
All right, very good. Yeah, I remember there was lots of roots and rocks and places to trip and fall on your face.
That's one.
Yeah, yeah, and I managed to not fall down on my face.
Excellent. Well, sorry, I don't remember the event.
I must have made a big impression on you.
You did that a long time ago.
Yeah, no, the thing that I got a kick out of was when I met with you over there at that barbecue place down the road, down towards you, and you said you don't look as bad as you do in your QRZ days.
Yeah, I remember that photo. You look like a big bad wolf in that photo.
Yeah, and I simply told you, I said, well, it keeps away the riffraff, No, I did. I took that picture up in the Adirondacks, and I was on a ski lift, as a matter of fact, in the summer, and I was a self-made. I just hold my hand out with a regular camera and took a picture and cropped it, and it looks ominous. That's how I liked it. That's why I liked it.
All right. So I heard you talking with Alan. I guess you're going to be at HamQuest.
Oh yeah, we'll be. I think I got a table.
All right, excellent. You're going to sell some stuff.
Well, it's a table for Simplex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, if somebody has some stuff to sell, they're welcome to come over to the table and drop it off. And if they don't have a table of their own, but I'm presuming you have a table.
Yeah, I have too. But I'll bring my repeater and duplexers and put them on your Simplexton.
I think you'll get a kick out of that page I put up as the front end of the net. It has to do with the repeaters. That's why it's just it's another one of my infamous mocking, so to speak, of repeaters. But it's all in fun.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, I like it. That was Robin. Kilo for India Delta Charlie. He is down just on the east side. Yeah, east side of Percy Priest Lake, south of me about 5 miles. Who else? And he used to have. He's a previous owner. I think he still owns it. The Ed Fong. Another newer ham to us over in Lebanon's got an Ed Fong. I just talked to him again today about it. I told him it's got no gain, none, maybe less. Anyway, who else is any place anywhere?
KQ4, AT Mobile.
Hey, are you guys having a meeting tonight?
Don't believe so.
I know. I caught you. Only on meeting nights do I seem to catch you guys mobile, and that would be you, Chris, and Frank, and somebody else, Mike.
No, I was out at dinner with my family, and it was like 8:50. I jumped in the truck, and I was like, let me just flip to the Simplex and see if they're on. And lo and behold, you got a long one going tonight.
We're having a good time. It doesn't. Sometimes they go longer than others, just because I'm long-winded, and then people jump in and get long-winded against me.
Well, to continue some of the long-windedness, I got a little info on the Couchville Lake that I got from one of the park rangers who led a toured kayak trip around there one lake named after.
Right. No, yeah. The question, yeah, I asked that question about where did that come from, but it was interesting to me because when I looked up, I wanted to know myself, and I looked up on, one of the AI sites, and if it was connected to Percy Priest. Said no. I'm like, okay, fine. Now Robin tells me he talked to like a park ranger over there, and he says it is.
I'll back Robin up on that because the park ranger said it is too. But also, I heard you say it doesn't think it's that deep. I think you said the park ranger, at least we were with, said it can be 40 to 60 feet deep in places. So they really don't know where it's feeding in from. They just know it's feeding in from somewhere.
Oh, that's interesting. Man, it's hard to believe it's that. There was, in other words, there had to be a big depression there prior to Percy Priest Lake being developed. Then,
I would assume so, yeah.
unless it's a sinkhole.
Now, if it filled up when they filled up Percy Priest, then it probably was already there. They just didn't know it was connected. And, with all the limestone and stuff and all the crap we have around here, it wouldn't be hard to find a small path through the rocks to link up.
Oh, I'm sure that's true. Yeah, and I see people fishing over there, so there's obviously fish in there, and I'm guessing maybe they share them with Percy Priest.
Yeah, they stock it. I asked about that.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, that's nice. What do they stock it with? Bluegill?
Did you hear my last call?
No, you said they stock it, but
Oh, you dropped that.
my foot switch made a 360 on me. It only hinges one way, and I was hinging it the wrong way. No, I was asking if you said they stocked it with fish, and I said what kind, and I presumed it would be things like bluegill or bass or both.
Yeah, I didn't get that deep into it. I'm not a fishing guy, but I did ask if they stocked it, and he said yeah they do, and he probably did say what kind. It just didn't stick.
Oh, no, I get it. No, no big deal. I haven't done much fishing in many years, but I used to do a lot of fishing down in Florida. Not very good fishing, but I did okay. Anything else other than that, there, Chris?
No, just a little bit. I did. There was a bike race here through Wilson County this morning, and I guess that was one of the first time I volunteered with the Nashville Radio Club was helping them with it because they had the race directors had contact with the Nashville crew. They were using the short mountain repeater, but I was chasing people down and picking up broken bikes and stuff this morning. So it was interesting to put the amateur radio stuff to an actual use of some type.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't done that here, but I've done that up in when I was up in New York.
Yeah, it was my first time, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. You're there to really. I was also did one down in I forget the county, Maury County. I was up. They did one of the off-road bike races, and I was in one of the remote locations. And in between races, I'd be just sitting there with myself in the woods, talking to myself.
Well, we all know you'd probably be pretty good at that.
Oh yeah. I have a wonderful conversation. It's quite a thing. I know. I didn't know I was that interesting to myself.
That's great. Hey, I just got to the QTH. My family's coming in behind me, so I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for running that again, and we'll see you at HamQuest.
Very good. That's Chris. KQ4 Alpha Echo Tango south of me. Well, yeah, if he's home, yeah, south of me about 5 or 6 miles down there I'll think of the name of that place in a second. Can't think of it. Rural Hill. That's what it is. Rural Hill. It's just a sign. Other than that, it's just a stinking sign on the road on 171. Who else is any place anywhere?
Whiskey 4, Uniform Whiskey Oscar, Tom in Hendersonville.
Hello, Tom. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm surprised I caught the end of the net. I was kind of busy doing other stuff, and I sat down on the computer, popped the radio on, and saw it's still going.
Yeah, you're number 24. We're kind of we're being long-winded tonight.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I'm had a little bit busy day. I was helping the Sumner County crew out this morning with their trailer, and then went to the pool with the family, and now I'm down here working on some XDS 5000s that I've kind of been swapping parts around for making workable radios with.
Oh, XTS 5000. Which radio is that? I'm unfamiliar with it.
It's an old P25 handheld.
Oh, okay. I know. I didn't even know they existed until I moved here.
good RF board. Now I have an 800 hertz radio that's going to become a scanner, and the other one's going to live at home in a base, a thing to make it a base station.
Are those radios very expensive?
Um, when they were new, I'm sure they were on eBay. I think I paid 150 bucks for the last one I bought.
And what's the normal? Are those the 5 watts, the same as the other HTs?
Yeah, 5 watts.
Okay, yeah, very good. And you've got there's a P25 up there in Sumner County, is there not?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, I thought there was because I know that I was talking to Zach. Zach, yeah, Zach up there, and he was telling me about that some time ago. And I really, you may have seen the one meme I put up on the web. It says, "Please stop." Yeah, that isn't new, I don't think, but my statement was a stop sign, and it says, "Please stop making new digital modes."
Yeah, there's a lot of them now.
Oh yeah, no, it's no big deal. It's just really a joke. You don't have to use them. It's like we're forced into using anything.
Nope, not at all.
Anyway, anything good for the net, Tom? Besides those P25s?
Nope, that's pretty much all I got tonight. Hope everyone had a great week, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are out there.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. And I'm sure everybody else does too. And I hope I forgot to mention it at the front end of the net. Happy Father's Day to well, pre Father's Day welcome. Anyway, that's Tom. He's in Hendersonville. Whiskey 4 uniform, whiskey Oscar. Anybody else? All righty. I'm going to move on to the list. We're looking for the I did never say that correct. Dilly Dallier, the Spuddlers, Landlubbers, Sandbaggers, Lollygaggers, Lurkers, Skulkers, Slackers, Lackeys, Toadies, Lackards, Repeater Chunkers, Shape-shifting Lizard People, Moon Landing Deniers, Moon occupied by alien believers and the deniers, and also those who believe there's foreign nations living on the backside of the moon that we can't see. The flat earthers, of course, and the flat earth deniers, not to mention the scanner listeners, but I will mention them. The SDR donglers, the preppers, and the end time survivalists. If I left anybody out, too bad. Is there anybody else out there?
I guess I'll be a sandbagger tonight.
Who is this? I recognize the voice, but I don't remember who it is.
Whiskey 4, November, Papa, David in White House.
Oh, very good, Dave. Well, I'm glad you're there. I haven't heard from you in a little while.
Well, I've had some antenna issues. I've just got that back up, not all the way full height, but at least I've got something back up now for 2 meter and 440. So just been monitoring a little bit tonight, checking signals, and I guess it's working.
Well, you're working darn good. You got almost an S9 on that last transmission.
Alrighty. Yeah, you're a little weaker than normal, but other night I thought I heard you say you was on a different antenna, a tri-band or something.
Yeah, it's a tri-band 70 centimeter, 2 meter, and 220. But it really has a good signal on all three. It's a very well matched antenna. But since it's smaller, it doesn't have the gain is less than like the X700.
Roger. Yeah, I've got about a S9 on you. Kind of blinking about a S9, S7, S9 on this radio, so definitely no problems.
Yeah, no, it's again, it's funny. We always talk about what's good and what's bad, and as long as I can understand what somebody's saying, I don't care what the signal is.
Data is 50 over to me. Home night, so just wanted to give you another number and say hello to you and everyone else. So W4NP in White House. Catch you up there, 7:30.
Yeah, very good. Almost running out of space here. That was David. I think he's going to be a. Did you say you want to be a lollygagger or a lurker or what?
Just put me under sandbagger tonight.
All right. You lose the sandbagger a moniker when you actually check in.
That's right.
Very good. That's Whiskey 4, November Papa. That's David in White House. Anybody else? I'm running out of room, but anybody else out there? All right, we are out of room. We're going to move right over to 144-240, and I think I have that program in this radio, but it should be easy to find. We do have a VFO. All right, I'll be there momentarily. Bear with me. 144-240 K4PW. See you in a second. All right, I'm here. I didn't have it programmed in the radio, but I figured I can use the VFO pretty good. This K4 PEW here on 144.240 upper sideband, in case you weren't paying attention. It's 144.240, looking for people from west.
KG4 LT.
Very good. We got Jack, G4, yeah, KG4ILV. I get so excited about sideband. Who else is west?
KC4 TAQ.
All right, we got Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec. We got it is, man, I'm getting all flustered here. That is Charles in West Nashville. Who else is west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Very good. That's Greg in Antioch. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. All good signals so far. Who else is west? Down to the south.
Kilo Echo 4, Juliet.
All right, there was a couple in there. We got Kilo Echo 4. That's Jim. Kilo Echo 4. Yeah, oh man, I got all messed up here. Kilo Echo 4. Man, oh man. Give me a call, Jim. I got all.
KE4TYJ Tango Yankee Juliet.
Yeah, very good. Nice. I remember it, but sometimes it just flips out when I'm doing others. That's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet Jim in Woodbury. Good signal there. Who else is the west? There was a couple others in there. Robin, I had UK4 IDC was heard you actually pretty good in the double or triple. Was there another station in there? More west? Farther west? Westward ho? All righty, looking for south. All righty, we're moving over to the east. We're moving right along.
KM4YRF.
Very good. Sound like Donald Duck again. KM4YRF. That's Michael in Mount Juliet. Who else is east? No more east? I am hearing somebody. Somebody's having a good time with a radio, a commercial radio. Is anybody copying that commercial radio?
I did.
Yeah, that's not good. Anybody else east?
K4
Oh yeah, I got you in there. That's Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie Robin, down in off the east, west, excuse me, the east side of Percy Priest. Who else is east? Up to the north.
K4 John.
Yeah, right. Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Golf Oscar. No, that's wrong. Kilo Delta 4. Man. Kilo Delta 4 Golf Oscar. Remember Danny in Station Camp. Who else?
KN4 ERI. I got on 23982.
294. You said 239. You said.
KN4 ERI. Yeah, it's not quite at 240. I'm a little less than that to get you on the signal. Maybe something's going on with my radio. I don't know.
No, remember this radio is. I bought it 20 years ago.
Oh, maybe it's just a little off then. Maybe it's not my radio. But anyways, you're sounding good there. I got you. KN4 ERI.
Yep, that was Eric in Goodlettsville, Kilo November 4 Echo Romeo India. Who else? Anybody else north? Or is anybody? Can you hear anybody up north? All righty, that's however many that is. That's a 9. That's a pretty normal number for us on sideband as well as on just regular FM on 6. Excuse me, on 70 centimeters. That's normal for us too, around 9 or 10 every night. We're going over to 50.135. 50.135 upper sideband. And of course, that's 6 meters in case you're interested, and you don't know, or you don't have it. But where we're going, 50.135. We'll see you in a minute.
Oh.
Yo.
KN4 he didn't twist the dial yet. Yeah, copy on KE4 TYJ.
Oh yeah, I got you in there. I thought you heard me. That's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. Yes, I got you in there, Jim.
Yeah, I was trying to get up with KN4 ERF over there in Goodlettsville.
Yeah, go ahead. Eric, you copying Jim down in Woodbury?
Yeah, roger that. I got a copy. I'm KN4ERI.
Okay, ERI. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I just wanted to see if I can make it to you from my house over here in Woodbury. Yeah, you sound good up here. You're about 5'2" or something, but you sound great. Okay. Yeah, I'm only running 50 watts up this way, but yeah, we all when Paul gets out there, we all use a rig and call him a day. He's got an old rig over. Yeah, roger that. But you sound great. Back to the net. KN4ERI, over.
Yeah, what Jim didn't tell you, he's got an 11 element beam pointed right towards you there in Goodlettsville.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
I just want to make it clear. I mean, you'd have a hard time getting him with a vertical.
Is he on horizontal?
No, I don't think so. You're vertical, aren't you? Yeah, you'd have to be. You're vertical, aren't you? There, or Eric.
I didn't catch all that.
You're vertical on your 70 centimeter beam, 70 centimeter where we were on Sideman.
Yeah, right now I'm on my GP9. That's the top of it is probably at around 55 feet, maybe 65 feet total.
And what's the elevation there at the base of your home?
That's almost 900 feet.
Yeah, so we're talking a good distance. You might be able to talk to him with a vertical, Jim. I'd forgotten about how high he was.
Well, I'm on my vertical beam. I didn't know if he was horizontal. I could switch over to my horizontal beam, so I was just curious.
No, he's vertical. He's vertical. He's good. No, you got a good signal here, and obviously a good signal up there to Goodlettsville, which has got to be, I don't know, 60 miles maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's cool. I just want to make sure I get there.
Yeah, very good. Appreciate it. Yeah, we do tests. We don't mind. I say we. I don't think anybody minds. Anyway, we're going to move over to 50.135. Anybody else got any? Well, that's where we're going. 50.135.
All right, 7-3, okay. E4CYJ.
All right, I understand it's busy here. Is frequency in use? I don't hear anybody. Is the frequency in use?
Yep.
Well, I know you're there, but I mean, Robin said he was busy earlier this evening.
Israel just hit Iran's nuclear and military sites, and Tehran is burning.
Well, it sucks to be them, doesn't it? And we're going to have more opportunities for more of those big towers. All right, we're on 50.13. I'm sorry, yeah, 50.135. Looking for check-ins from. There's not going to be many of us here, but from the west, but not anywhere. Please come now.
KM4YRF.
All right, got Michael here, KM4YRF here in Mount Juliet. Who else is east? Any place.
K4IDC.
You sound real good. Which antenna are you using for 6 meters there, Robin?
7-element beam.
Oh man, you could use 1 watt.
Well, let's see. I can manage that. Let's see. Started at 50. How low? All right. So it says 0.1 watt there. Can you hear me?
Well, at 0.1 watts, pointing, I guess, at me, you're doing S7 point something.
What about Michael? Can you hear me?
Michael, are you copying Robin?
Not now. I was before, but my beam is pointed west.
Yeah, his beam, Mike's beam is pointed west.
All right, there's 2 watts.
You didn't reply, so I don't think Mike heard you.
I do not hear him.
All right, there's 5 watts.
Still not hearing it?
Just a little bit.
All right, there's 11 watts.
I hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, really, at point. What did you say it was? 0.1?
Yes.
No, that's hard to believe. It calibrates down that low.
Well, it's a K3S, so the 100-watt amp is optional.
I got you. Very good. Nice little test there. Who else is here on 6 meters? Please come now. Very good. You sound good. Well, not great, but you got a good signal here, Jack. Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Who else is on 6 meters? Somebody copying that station? Because I can't make it out. Can anybody else hear that station? I don't think it's anybody involved in our group here.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. You had me kilowatt 1 Tango Ocean.
Well, 6 is open. We need to button this up and move on.
I think I heard somebody say it was kilowatt 1 Tango Ocean.
That's what I heard.
But I don't know if they're talking to us. I hear a couple of stations in there talking, and I can't make out any of them.
KN4ERI. Yeah, maybe they're not talking to us.
I don't think they are. We got KM4ERI. That's Eric up there in Goodlettsville. Anybody else?
Whiskey Echo 4 Echo.
Yeah, very good. Dan, how you doing, Danny?
Not too bad. You picked a good night for this. 6 is wide open and there's a contest.
Oh boy, yeah. Well, it wasn't on purpose, but yeah, we do 6 meters every Saturday night, as you know. But no, I heard that Robin had told me earlier that it was busy all afternoon. No, Wes told me that it was busy too.
Yeah, I just got on about half an hour ago, and I actually forgot you guys were to be here, and was just kind of tuning around. So I work, I don't know, half a dozen stations, some in Texas and some up in New England.
Cool. Well, you know us, man. We're the only group that gives people 2 opportunities a week to miss the net.
And I take every advantage of that.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get an award for the most contiguous nets missed.
Well, I'd like to say I don't deserve that, but I do.
No, that's all right. Us. Like I tell people, they say, "Well, I can't make the net," and I say, "I don't care."
Yeah, I need to do better.
No, it's really funny. It's not that I don't care, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not benefiting from it. The only ones that benefit from are the person who's checking in and listening to other people and how well he can hear them. That's who benefits, not me.
Oh, I know what you mean. But anyway, yeah, I don't get a lot of radio time, so I got to get it when I can get it.
Work doing okay?
Yeah, it's a grind. But yes, it's going okay. Hopefully I'll only have a couple more years of it left, but we'll just have to see about that.
You'll miss it when it's gone.
I doubt it.
I still miss it, and I retired in 1960. I'm 1960. 20, 2009, 16. What is it? 16 years ago.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I may miss the activity, but I won't miss this job. I don't think.
No, I miss working on projects that were fun to work on. I say fun because they were a challenge, and we got something done. We won an award to do the job, and we did a good job, or we worked our way through getting into a good job, and there's a real feeling of accomplishment when you're done.
Well, mine is just continuous tedium. So I'm going to change it up a little bit. I got a site survey on Tuesday here in Nashville, and I'll get to go do something else. I've been on the same project for like a year and a half in South Carolina, and it's just one thing after another. I'll be glad to have that thing be finished.
That doesn't sounds like you're reading a phone book or something.
Oh, good grief! I read the phone book actually for fun and profit, in breaks.
I'm with you. Now, as you know, though, all jobs all kinds of jobs involving engineering type things can be very tedious.
Yeah, something happened over there, Paul. I think you blew up.
Yeah, I know. I'm here. My foot switch is driving me crazy because my foot doesn't cooperate.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, let me get out of the way. There's a lot of stuff going on. Nice to hear you and everybody else, and we'll see you. Maybe I'll catch you. Maybe I'll get done early enough Wednesday night I can join.
All right, sounds great. It was Danny. He's in Hendersonville. man we don't hear from too often, but I'm glad he jumped in there. And that's Whiskey Echo for Echo. Who else is any place anywhere on 6 meters? Anybody else on 6 meters?
Hi, Danny, K4IDC. Hi, Robin. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Danny. Miss you.
God, miss being around, boys.
I do hear a lot of calls going out in the background. Anyway, we're done here with, and we went an hour and 30 minutes. Wow, a lot of flapping the jaws here. Anyway, we had 7 there on 6 meters, and I'm going to close out the net. Appreciate everybody being there. We're going to move right over to 223-415. So that's where I'm going, unless I hear somebody scream.
You're right. It's that darn foot switch getting him again.
No, I had the foot switch down that time. You didn't hear that?
No, Paul, something bad happened over there. You're really, really distorted and your signal's pretty much gone.
Oh, that's pretty wild. Hold on. For some reason, maybe it's water, but it just, yeah, the SWR went out of sight, and now it's back to normal.
Way more better.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I don't know what happened, but I just noticed I wasn't looking at the screen, but obviously it backed off to whatever it backs off to, 5 watts or so, and that wasn't working for me.
No, clearly.
All right, very good. We're moving over to 223-415, where I shouldn't have a problem. I just have a minute to transition here because I don't have the right antenna hooked up to it at the moment. So I'll be a second. Mike, if you'd start it up, I'll catch you in a minute. K4PW. I'm going to close out the YouTube video.
All right, Paul, no problem.